Hello everyone, this is Ghost4D, and today I just wanted to talk a bit about xCloud as well as the exclusion from Apple's platform. Also, I wanted to go into detail why I'm pretty sure I will not be buying a next-gen console for a very long time. So to start with, I would like to give you some of my backstory in the whole world of games. Honestly, only recently I've really gotten into gaming. Like I've started building computers and all that. First and foremost, I would like to say for the longest I've been a PC gamer. When I was younger, we had a variety of consoles, and I'm pretty sure it started with, I believe the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation 2. At least that's when I was alive. I'm pretty sure my family had a Nintendo, but I wasn't around for that. I'm very certain that, well, I remember the PlayStation. I remember that because I actually broke that, sadly. For the longest, I was actually into Nintendo a lot more than any other console. And the reason for that is emulators. I never actually played on the Nintendo 64. I never actually played on the Nintendo. I never actually played on any of those. But what I remember most is the Nintendo 64 games. I remember Perfect Dark. I remember GoldenEye. I remember all those games. And those were like my favorite games of that time period. Basically, what happened was we had consoles. We had a few consoles. I remember the PlayStation. I remember the PlayStation 2. I remember GameCube. The GameCube is where we actually stopped getting consoles. I'm not entirely sure why, but this is what happened. We got the GameCube, and I remember after a good while of playing, like this was when we had to use memory cards and all that crap. I remember like for a long time we didn't have a memory card. So like we would just play it on the TV and we wouldn't have a memory card. So, it would just be on all the time. And I remember one time my brother was playing through Star Fox. He was really far in Star Fox, and it just shut off, and it like completely stopped working. I know some of you understand how much that sucks. Some don't, but hey, back then you just couldn't save without a memory card, and we did not have one. So basically after that, for a few years, we just didn't get a console. Our dad had this PC. Now this PC wasn't anything special. I'm pretty sure at the time it probably had like 2 gigabytes RAM. So we weren't working with anything special. So even Nintendo 64 emulators would, slow down a bit. That's like our main gaming machine. And we played that most of the time. Otherwise, we just didn't have a console. So, yeah. Whenever my dad wasn't working on the computer, we were playing a game. So, Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, all of these other games, those are just what we're used to. I remember my brother playing through Mario 64. I don't remember it on the 64, like the actual console. I don't remember that. I remember him playing on the computer. My brother's a big gamer. Anyway, back to the point. A few years later, finally, I got a new GameCube. My own GameCube. It was my personal GameCube. I'm not sure what happened to that, but that's besides the point. Anyway, that's what really got us back into console gaming. Because right after that, we got the Xbox 360. And all I can remember is hours and hours of Halo. And finally, we got tired of Halo. We were like, okay, we're jumping too freaking high. This is not real enough for me. And then we started playing Call of Duty. So that's what happened. So I can honestly say for that period, we were very into Xbox. I will mention though, at this time we did have a PS3. Fast forward to now, I'm obviously an Xbox person, which is the main reason I'm talking about xCloud. Because as soon as it was available, I decided to try to sign up for it and get it. And I was lucky enough to get it. So that was a big win for me because at the time I was very mobile. So it seems Apple want to keep Game Pass, but with the exclusion of xCloud. And it's really not weird to me at all. Because honestly, when I think of Apple, I think of a closed system. I think of all Apple products. When you get one Apple product, you have to have the whole lineup. At least that's what it seems like to me. I'm an Android user, so obviously I'm from the outside looking in. I mean, whatever your experience is, I would love to hear about it, but that's just my experience. So when you think about that, when you look at it from that perspective, you can understand why they would want to have a closed system in terms of gaming too, as unproductive and as terrible that may be for the consumer. But in all honesty, I believe that's a pretty terrible move. That's just my personal opinion, and you can fight me on that. If you lock out something that directly competes with the product that you have on your phones, that's like an automatic win for you. Sure, it's a great business move, but is it really ethical? How is the consumer affected? Is it positive or is it negative? And I think that's something that they probably don't care about in this case. They have to make money. It's a business. I just really wanted to see how this turns out though. I want to see what happens when Xbox decides to release xCloud and exclude it from Apple devices. I want to see how people react to that. That's a whole demographic that's being excluded. As far as the consoles go, I believe the Xbox Series X and whatever Series S or whatever it is that's going to come out is probably just going to be too much for me. I think if there's a Series X, well, Series S, that probably will be my go-to. But see, even then, there's a problem that will keep me from even caring about next-gen gaming, and that is pricing. The price that I'm hearing for these games, like the price that's being rumored everywhere, $70 from $60, like $60 to me was already a lot. I only pulled out $60 for games that, you know, are like exclusives that I had to pay that much for, or games that were just that good in my opinion, like Doom. And I'll honestly say I bought Animal Crossing. You know what's sad about that? I barely play Animal Crossing. Would I choose an Xbox or would I choose a PlayStation? I'll be honest with you. I literally keep myself from seeing PlayStation exclusives because it's almost certain that Xbox consoles will be cheaper. And on top of that, I already have a PC. Not to say that they are the same thing, because they're definitely not going to be. But I can honestly say that I'll probably stick with my PC for a while, because I have a ton of games that I've yet to play. Now see, I love the idea of a next-gen game and a next-gen console. In my opinion, the Xbox Series X looks nice. The PlayStation looks a bit better in my opinion. But to me, it looks almost like a centerpiece that I don't really want. That's my take. I don't believe I'll be getting a next-gen console for a good while. I would love to hear your opinion about all this. This has been Ghost for a D. Hope you liked the video. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribing would be awesome. Peace.